the outs for Jeremy Hess. Los Alamitos has got to take advantage. 2 down here in the third. That pitch misses down low. What a great crowd on hand here at Los Alamitos High School. They're even down the left field line on the dirt on the railroad tracks, and you know why? They want to go get themselves a souvenir. It's like Sammy Sosa's in town.
Well, they're also down on the right field line behind the fence there. A lot of excitement here in the city of Los Alamitos. Beautiful crowd, as you said, Willie. Southern California afternoon.
Time for those houses to get those protective screens on those windows out in right field.
Especially when the Wilson Bruins come to town.
And Jeremy Hess pausing to talk it over with Wasik. And the reason for that is because with a runner at second base, they don't want that runner stealing the signals from Wasik. And usually there's a series of signals that the catcher will go through. It's either usually the second or third signal that the pitcher will respond to. That pitch down low, blocked nicely by Wasik. Wasik earning his uniform today, since that's about all you get for free. Good job by Wasik. Keep the ball out in front, and the runners at first and second. 2 down, the count now 2-1. That pitch, a fastball, misses, and much to the chagrin and surprise of the Bruin fans, not a strike.
Well, we got a lot of umpires behind us over here.
And Jeremy Hess displays his displeasure by walking to the backside of the mound and kind of tugging at his shirt and in known certain terms indicating his dismay with the call. Now the count 3-1. Swing and a miss. Big plus for the Griffins here. With the count 3-2 and 2 outs, they'll be going. So Fitzgerald over at second base and Ball over at first will be on the move when Hess goes into motion.
Hess is going to come with his best pitch to this batter. It'll be interesting to see what he throws.
That would render the force play virtually meaningless, making the appropriate play at first. That pitch misses upstairs. Well, I knew if the pitch 2 pitches ago, which was belt high, was too high, that one just below the letters was obviously way too high. And now the bases are loaded without benefit of a base hit. 2 hit batters and a base on balls, and the bases are loaded for David Smith. The pitch, a strike. Los Alamitos has just 1, or it's actually 2 base hits in this ball game. Godfrey with a base hit and Fitzgerald with a base hit. There are 2 down here in the bottom of the third. The bases are loaded for David Smith.
This young man going to the University of Pacific, and he graduates in a couple of weeks.
That pitch misses outside for a ball, 1-1. Hess has walked 3 batters. He's hit 2. That is very unlike the senior right-hander for the Bruins. But despite those instances, he is still in command, although beginning to labor just a bit. With a good pitch, he's out of the inning with no damage, but one mistake, if David Smith can put a jolt into one, that'll change the complexion of this ball game completely. The 2-1. This one grounded up the middle, but Marshall right there flips to Gutierrez. The force play in order, and the side retired. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 3 runners left on base. We're through 3. It's still 8-3 Bruins. On our Ed Dot Sports Game of the Week, some of the fans in attendance here at the Los Alamitos High School Baseball Complex, if that's what you want to call it. It's a great crowd on hand, and let me tell you, this is not your everyday crowd at a high school baseball game. This is a crowd that was expecting a good ball game and has gotten a lot of fireworks. 5 base hits in the ball game for the Bruins, 4 of them home runs. Impressive indeed. Jeremy Hess has not been at his best, but has been good enough to hold a 5-run lead. The Bruins have been rocking and rolling to the tune of 8 runs, and this being the 4th inning, they will actually bat around they'll get to the top of the order for the 3rd time in this only the 4th inning. That's extremely impressive.
Well, the Bruins have been extremely impressive most of the season. They've only lost 4 games. They lost a couple early. They lost 1 to Lakewood. They lost 3 in the preseason. They lost 1 to Lakewood in the regular season. And that Lakewood loss kind of shook them up, and they began to refocus. And for the most part, they've played good, sound baseball. At least the games we've seen them this year, with the possible exception of the Poly game, they played very good baseball.
And I mentioned earlier that junk ball pitcher was what was giving the Bruins a problem, but the fastball certainly is not, as Wasick goes out of the yard. Yikes. Sixth base hit of the ball game, 5th home run for the Bruins. How about Mark Clabo? He's over at third base playing welcoming committee. Every time a guy goes deep, he gets to shake the guy's hand.
Greg Wasick getting his 2nd home run of the season.
If another player besides Miller, Gwynn, or Wasick hit a home run, that means more than half the lineup will have gone deep. That's incredible. 4 home runs by 4 different players. It's 9-3. This is batting practice. Incredible. Here's the pitch, and this has been the big job for Mark Clabo. Write Brady Werner's name in and shake the guy's hand as he rounds third. He's done it 4 times already.
Almost looks like a doorman in Las Vegas.
Actually, 5 times. 5 home runs. More than half the lineup does have home runs. Miller, Gwynn, Werner, and Wasick have all homered. Gutierrez, Hess, Pace, and Hewitt have not. The pitch is strike.
David Reyna is warming up in the bullpen for the Griffins.
And probably hoping they don't bring him in, at least not while the bats are hot. Right now, and what is it that the Vietnam War veterans go through after, post-traumatic shock? I think, unfortunately, Greg Schwinn's going to be experiencing a little of that. After you've thrown this many home runs in one ball game, you're going to be afraid to throw it over the heart of the plate, and you're going to start nibbling, and you're going to start missing, as he does here with Edwin Gutierrez, walking him. So after giving up a home run to Wasick, not a good reaction from your pitcher, as instead of going after the ensuing batter, he walks him. Things could be going from bad to worse for Schwinn, and just getting even better for the Bruins. It's already 9-3. 5 out of the 9 batters in the Bruin order have homered.
An awesome display of power, even in this field with the dimensions as it is.
The dimensions seemed pretty legit up until things started going the way they have. A hit and run into a double play for Jeremy Hess, as the second baseman Lindholm was covering, and the ground ball was right at him on the cover. So he takes it 4 unassisted onto first for the double play, and that double play makes it 2 outs here in the 4th and brings up Chris Miller.
That was an easy routine play at the second baseman, who was, as you say, Willie, was covering second anyway, so all he had to do was touch the bag and make the easy throw.
Well, it didn't start out routine. What turned it into a routine play was sending the runner. And that's not going to make friends and influence people when you send the runner with a 6-run lead. Although in high school baseball and the way Hess has kind of teetered on the edge of disaster, you may want to go for as many as you can. The pitch misses. Count evens up at 1-1.
Well, Schwinn is getting a little frustrated with the plate umpire. Of course, you know, he's frustrated now having given up 9 runs, 5 home runs, and he's looking for a break from someone. And the umpire says, don't look at me.
Base hit into left field off the glove of the diving Hartford. Chris Miller is now 2 for 3. He's homered, now singled, and he also struck out in his first at-bat. That's long forgotten. That'll bring up Kevin Miller, who started the fireworks with a home run to left field in the first inning. The Bruins have homered in every inning. Miller homered in the first. Chris Miller and Brady Werner homered in the second. Billy Gwynn homered in the third. And Greg Wasik has homered here in the fourth. Almost like a ceremonial long ball being launched every inning. Kevin Miller at the plate. Joey Pace, who has been the batter that edges up so close while he's on deck, is on deck.
Well, the coaching staff at LosAl is getting on the home plate umpire, Bob Stavisky. They don't like the calls. Of course, they don't like the score either.
There's not much they're liking right now. If they could have captured this game and frozen it at the end of the first inning, I'm sure they would have been delighted. Unfortunately, it's a 7-inning ball game, and that's only if the Bruins don't keep lighting up the Griffin pitchers, as there is a 10-run mercy rule at the end of 5. Actually, anytime after 4.5 are complete, if it's the home team in the lead. Pitch misses, ball 3, 3-0. Joey Pace, one of the 4 Bruins who has yet to homer, on deck. So he's got some incentive.
One wonders how long will Wygod go with his starting pitcher.
And naturally, I said that loud enough for Pace to hear it. And I think here comes Wygod, and I think he's got a hook with him. There's 2 outs on that double play on the hit and run attempt by the Bruins. Had the Bruins not been hitting and running, this could be a huge inning, because that ground ball from Jeremy Hess was destined for center field. Thus far, Wygod has yet to take the ball out of the hands of Greg Schwinn.
Wygod was just named today Coach of the Year in Orange County.
Well, it's been a up and down day, you could say.
Yeah, he's got that accolade.
And I'm sure he'd trade that accolade any day of the week for a win today.
Of course.
Well, Wygod does not have a hook with him and does not have a relief pitcher with him either.
Well, he had Reyna warming up. I don't see Reyna warming up anymore.
Could that be the proverbial towel being thrown in? Just leave Schwinn in there and let the chips fall where they may?
I don't think so. A little bit too early for that.
You think? Down by 6 in the 4th?
Yeah.
Hey.
3 more innings.
Come on,
3-run jack here, and game's almost over. Let's put it this way. Schwinn has had a proclivity to give up the long ball. Swing and a miss. 7 hits in the ball game for the Bruins, 5 of them long ball.
You gotta focus up there.
2 measly singles in the bunch. Go, 0-2 on Pace, down in the count, 2 outs in the inning. Pitch misses away. Good idea by Schwinn, trying to see if Pace would go fishing after a pitcher's pitch, not a hitter's pitch. Billy Gwynn on deck, waiting his turn. Gwynn homered his last at bat. He scored 2 runs. It's also aboard on an error. The curveball in there for strike 3. In the inning, 1 run scores on 2 base hits, no error.
We have a 9-3 ball game here in the city of Los Alamitos. And the Griffins are 6 runs, Willie, down, and it's getting a little late. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning, and the Griffins are in about a couple of innings away from swinging a swan song.
You could say that the Griffins are buried 6 runs under, because that's exactly what the situation is now. They're down 9-3. It's pretty much play station to station. You can't afford to have a rally snuffed out with a bad base running goof, so it's going to be station to station. Hope you get a long ball. There's no way that the Griffins can match the power that the Bruins have displayed. At least there's no indication that they can. Jeremy Hess, despite giving up those early 3 runs, has been dominant.
Well, this team has been a balanced team, the Griffins have. They've had no superstars to boast about, but they have been a team that finally, in mid-season, accepted the hitting philosophy of Wygod and his pitching staff, his coaching staff, as we see a bunt laid down.
Prettyman trying to get a board on the bunt. Gwynn stretches and gets the throw from Hess. Nice play by the good fielding pitcher, Jeremy Hess. You know, I've mentioned that on countless occasions. I mentioned it to the fans listening. I mentioned it to my son when he pitches in Little League, that good pitchers are always good fielders because they become their 9th defensive man. And if they're a good fielding pitcher, that can only help their pitching performance. 1 down, that'll bring up John Hartford, the shortstop. He's 0 for 1, having grounded out to Edwin Gutierrez. That pitch misses down low. Apparently this home plate umpire has a very high-low strike zone and a very low-high strike zone. Swing and a miss.
You're talking about a 30-year veteran in Stavisky. He, as I said, he was an Inland Empire, and
they quizzed the base umpire to see if Hartford went around, but he was not willing to give him the called strike, which is somewhat amazing. Down the line, fair ball. That'll be extra bases, possibly. Indeed, it should be, as Miller gets over, hustles it into Gutierrez, but it's a double for Hartford.
Well, Hartford says take that with some of his Wilson High School friends. He knows quite a few of these baseball players at Wilson.
Well, you've got the home plate umpire basically squeezing the pitcher into a strike zone that's about 6 inches high and low. And so if the batter, knowing it's got to be in that groove, basically it's swing on only that pitch, and it's basically a good pitch to hit. That pitch a strike. The umpire giving the call just above the knees to just below the belt. That is the strike zone in terms of high and low. This one grounded up the middle. That may score a run. Here comes Miller's throw. He's going to go into the cutoff. It gets through the cutoff, but as I mentioned, the Griffins have to play it station to station. Cannot take any unnecessary risks. Hartford scores on the base hit by Castillo. Now 9-4 in favor of the Bruins. So the Griffins showing some life. 1 out. Runner aboard at first base as Ryan Godfrey steps to the plate. He's 1 for 1, having walked and scored a run in the first inning, singled and was eliminated on a double play in the 3rd. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. A 5-run lead for the Bruins. Grounded down the line and foul. As Rob Wygod gives it kind of a false effort.
Well, if I know Rob Wygod, he is not going to let his troops give up. And this is not a time limit game, so it's not over till it's over. 5-run lead for the Bruins.
Now, for the Griffins, this is basically the worst case scenario. Short hop, Hewitt fields and throws, gets him. Nice play.
Outstanding play by Hewitt. Got it on the short hop, threw it on the dead run, and an accurate throw to get his man.